Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so grab what I needed to grab, man. I'm glad I made the video that I made earlier, but it took a little too long, man. I was sitting there on that phone here talking whatever I was talking for like 40 minutes, and I gotta get back. The alarm just went off, which means I have 4 minutes to get back to get my laundry, and I'm about 15 minutes away from the building, which means I'm probably 25 minutes away from getting the laundry, given the fact that I gotta go back to the room and get my bag to then walk down the street and get to the clothes. So hopefully nobody steal my stuff, man, but this is the risk you take when you try to do what I did, which was make a trip in between laundry. It's not simply in the laundry room, as you guys know if you follow me. The machine died on me. Both machines died on me today, ironically enough, but it led to me having an opportunity to come down here and find that they had kettles, electric kettles, on sale. I thought it was gonna be 30 bucks. It was only like 17 bucks. So that being 50% off was super perfect for me, because my kettle has a real short in it. I've had it since well before I got here on this side of town. It's been, what, 3 years? So it was due to die. And yeah, man, given the fact that I boil my water the way that I do and so on and so forth, it's so very important that thing not die on me completely before replacing it. So yeah, this is what this ultimately became, an opportunity for me to buy a new one, electric kettle, and of course throw the other one out. So that's really what it is, man. It took way too long though. This was not supposed to take this long at all. I was only supposed to come down here and then go back, but I got caught up making the last video I made, man, and it was important to me that I do. I was trying to tell the truth like I always do. Try to show some people some things that maybe they're not thinking about, or maybe you are thinking about. Another voice giving you the stuff you already know. I don't know, but I just follow what the Lord wanted me to do, as I often try to do. And it ran a little longer than it should have, but I think it was the right thing to do. I think it was the right thing to do when you stand up for what's right. The Lord gives you the ability to speak. I think it's important that we try, because there's going to definitely be voices that are going to go against what's of God's will and God's word, or what is good, or what is righteous, or what have you. There's always going to be an antithesis to the voice you either choose to use or choose not to use for whatever your cause may be. Always remember that. If you're not going to speak up, best believe somebody's speaking the opposite for certain. So you can be a voice that helps your cause, or your silence most definitely goes against your cause. So that's what I think, man. I think my cause is ending the occupation in occupied Palestine, saving what's left of their race from the clutches of this imperialist agenda, and ultimately saving the animals and everybody else who would otherwise need it saving from that nonsense, man. They doing all types of stuff there. It's not just people that's getting hurt over there. They killing off animals. They ain't nobody good. Nothing good is safe at the hands of the clutches of Israel. Let's make very clear that if it's innocent of any kind, it's in danger over there. Where they pointing their guns at, they shooting everything innocent. That's what I've come to understand. It ain't just children. Anything innocent. It's a true devilish agenda, man. And so, for you who may not be well versed on the realities, who may be listening to the wrongdoers paint the picture of who is doing the wrong, trust me, it's very important that you start to understand what's going on over there. It's not something to ignore. It's not like any of the other subjects that have come before it, as it pertains to foreign subjects and stuff that's going on in foreign land. This is different. This is very different, because this is the thing that they're hoping will make it so that we find ourselves in another war. And this time, with this particular war, some of it probably will be had on our soil. See, and I was listening to somebody, this is not my independent thought, this is something I heard from someone else saying, I agree with it. As our relation in this country to war goes, we're used to sending our people out go to the sandbox, go to somewhere in the Middle East, you know what I mean? We send our people out and we worry about them. That's our relationship to war. And we hear about the stories and we understand we don't relate to those stories because, nothing can beat the Marines, but the Marines have a hard job. And boy, do we honor them because they go off to war. The problem is that's not real as it pertains to how war is actually fought. See, they're going somewhere. And that somewhere has homes, people raising their kids. A lot of times those people don't have a lot of money. They're fighting in spaces where people aren't in position to protect themselves. They're going to someone's home. They're not just fighting out in some battleground. No, they're going in between residential areas, poor residential areas at that, in various countries and fighting these wars out. What I'm telling you is, with the provocation of what it is that our government has been doing, essentially what they're allowing to happen is for people to get angry enough to bring the fight to us. They're angry enough to make it so that they come to you. Not with a terrorist attack like what has been described to you in 9/11, what that demonstration was. Not with something that will make you allow you to be at peace, but something that could literally be taking place in your backyard. That's an unprecedented problem for this society here. We don't know that. We've never seen that. We don't know what that looked like. And I'm telling you, that's exactly what it is that our country is trying to provoke. Not that this fight will be fought somewhere in the Middle East, but that those who are over there will come and attack us. And so that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Pay attention to what's going on over there, man. Be very, very careful not to allow yourself to be indifferent to things like this anymore. Because at the end of the day, they trying to strum up some dark hatred. And the first thing they're going to do is use us, citizens, as the human shields. Just like they describe. Every single accusation is a confession with these guys. Every single one of them. You can say whatever you want in regards to supporting your country. If it makes you feel better, you're American, you love your American country, I love my American country, whatever. The people who are controlling your country, your government, the people you voted in, some of which who have finagled their way in, you didn't even vote for them. They are in positions to provoke severe, trauma-filled, emotional, pain-filled hatred toward us. And what they end up doing is hiding in bunkers when the strikes hit, and they let all of us die. That's how that plays out. They go, we're going to do whatever we want to do. We're going to take this, we're going to take that, and then they hide somewhere. When the bombs start bursting in the air, when the insurgents start coming or whatever the hell that happens takes place, the people who are actually doing all the woofing, the people who are actually doing all the provocation, they're nowhere to be found. That's why it's important that us, the people who they gonna hide behind, who they gonna let stand in the front lines while they run off, scurry to some bunker, we understand what they're doing in the process of making it happen, so we know what our best defense is. So that we know who we need to talk to, how we need to talk to whom, if it ain't too late to talk. I'm already seeing online where people don't have a lot of patience for America, even if we're innocent. Because the way they see it is we're compliant, and they innocent too. And they don't see enough of us giving a damn. So when it's time for them to get their get back, and they intend to, they don't care about us surviving, just like it seems we don't care about them surviving. There needs to be more of us who are aware of them having trouble surviving, so that we can show the care that would ultimately allow them the understanding that not all of us are complicit. Not all of us are in support of Israel. Because you best believe your government has been standing in front of international stages and acting like they represent you when killing them. You best believe they are. America stands with Israel. And they signing bombs when they say stuff like that. That's not by accident. That's them standing behind you. And when people start bombing, you think they're going to be the ones Getting hit? Hell no. They're going to be in their bunkers. They're going to be somewhere on an island somewhere, sipping daiquiri, waiting for all of this to get decimated so they can rebuild it on our bones, just like they're doing in Gaza. And if we ain't smart enough to see that coming, then we definitely going to be victims to that type of stuff. You don't get to kill people, babies, and think they ain't going to do everything they can to get back at whoever did it. Problem is, they ain't going to be able to touch them. But guess who they can touch? You, average American. And with the way that this government is behaving, with the way their politics are set up, they gonna offer us up to them people. They don't mind killing children in other places. What makes you think they ain't gonna mind killing you? Think about it. Give that some thought. But if you don't have any notion that they're killing people over there in that way indiscriminately, then you have no idea the understanding you need to be able to see what it is I just described is true. You're not gonna see it. And that's why it's important we start paying attention to this Palestine thing, man. Every single person who watches me, you need to start paying attention to this. You need to know what's going on over there. Not as it pertains to the American government and what their intentions are as they tell it, but what's going on the boots on the ground. You need to be in these farms where they're telling the truth about what's happening down there from their perspective, with footage that's showing you that a lot of what your government is telling you isn't true. A lot of it, if not all of it. You need to know how quickly they are to discard of children so that you don't ever think that they are serious when they say they're about the betterment of innocence. Child protective services and all these things run by a government that is purposefully bombing children. As I tell you, this Palestine thing is a true north for the understanding. You'll never think these people aren't capable of doing the worst things in the world if you truly understand that they're already doing them in our faces. And they could care less who knows, for the most part. They want y'all to stay in that nestled space that you've been in for as long as you've been alive, where you don't ask questions, where you trust them, where you send your sons and daughters over to fight for them, and they continue to do stuff like this all over the world, provoking everybody in the world to thinking that we're compliant to the stuff that they're doing when we don't even know. We don't have the first clue. And they're doing it in such a way to where even if you don't know, you ain't gonna have no mercy from those who you tell that to when the time comes. That's how bad they're doing those people. They ain't gonna even care that you didn't know. So I'm trying to describe to you. They ain't gonna care that you were in the dark. They see you waving an American flag and they equate that to all the worst horrors of their lives. And they blame you for it. I'm trying to tell people, that's why I've been using my voice, man. It's exactly why I've been using my voice, because I see that coming. I'm smart enough to know that play. I know that play. And they ain't gonna do it without some commentary against it. They ain't gonna do it without at least one person saying, yo, I see that coming. I know you're doing this. I know your intention is to piss these people off, hurt them in such terrible and terrifying ways, and then run off and pretend like you were representing me when you were doing it. I know that's what you're doing. And I want anybody who's listening to me, including them, to know that's what you're doing. And I'm against it with every bit of my life. I'm against it. I don't want people to suffer. I have no enemies in Iran. I don't believe Iran's doing all the evil stuff in the world and that we need to stop them in order to save ourselves. That's bull. That's proven bull. Not hearsay bull, but the truth has already been shown to me vividly through the actions of the government who's telling me that. I already see that they're arming Israel. I already see that Israel's a liar. I already see that Israel's a baby killer. I already see that Israel's looking to celebrate the sufferings of the people they're terrorizing. I see this. I don't need nobody to come tell me. I've seen the footage. I know. And it's showing me the truth about everything else that America and Israel have been involved in and what they're capable of going forward. I suggest you look at the same thing I've been, so you have the same understanding I do. BDL 44, thank y'all for watching. I'm out.